Rejection cuts deeper than almost any wound. It's the moment the world tells you no, not good enough, not chosen, not wanted. And in that instant, the mind fractures. You start to question everything: your worth, your path, your purpose. But here's the truth most never learn. Reject. The unpack is not meant to hand you approval. It's meant to shape you through denial. Every door that slams shut is not punishment. It's precision. The universe is removing what weakens you, clearing the ground for what must rise. Most people take rejection personally. The Stoic takes it strategically. He doesn't beg for the lost opportunity. He studies it. He doesn't drown in self-pity. He builds his fortress higher. Because the man who cannot be broken by rejection becomes unstoppable. So when life tells you no, listen carefully. Beneath that silence is direction. Beneath that pain is your map forward. He thought it was the end. The job he'd worked for years to earn, gone with a single email. We've decided to move in a different direction. A polite execution. No explanation. No closure. Just silence and the hollow echo of everything he thought he was. He stared at the screen for a long time, replaying every choice, every late night, every sacrifice. The anger came first, sharp and alive. Then the shame. The quiet voice whispering, "You failed." Days blurred. Sleep became escape. He avoided friends, ignored calls, and drifted between self-doubt and self-destruction. But here's what no one told him. Rock bottom isn't a destination. It's a doorway. One night, in the stillness of that collapse, he realized something. The rejection wasn't random. It was surgical. That door had to close because he'd outgrown the room behind it. The universe had removed what he was clinging to so he could face what he was meant for. That's when everything changed. He stopped asking, "Why me?" and started asking, "What now?" He began reading, training, thinking, stripping away every illusion that made him fragile. Months later, he wasn't the same man who'd been rejected. He was colder, sharper, unshakable. Rejection hadn't destroyed him. It had redefined him. The Stoics never romanticized pain. They studied it. They saw rejection not as misfortune, but as data. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." To a Stoic, rejection is not a barrier. It's a compass pointing toward where strength must be built. When you are rejected by a person, a job, a dream, the modern instinct is to internalize it, to think you are the problem. But Stoicism slices through this illusion with surgical precision. What you can control must be released. What you can control must be mastered. Everything else is noise. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That's not comfort, that's a command. The Stoic trains himself to see rejection as raw material for growth. Every no exposes dependence. Every disappointment unmasks illusion. The pain you feel is simply your attachment being burned away. Seneca reminded us, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Anxiety after rejection is often the mind replaying an invented tragedy. The event has passed, yet you keep reliving it, feeding it, giving it power. The Stoic rejects this self-torment. He observes the emotion, studies it, and then discards it, like armor too heavy to wear. Psychologically, rejection activates the brain's pain circuits the same way physical injury does. That's why it feels unbearable. But where most people retreat, the Stoic reframes. He sees this neurological fire not as punishment but as proof of life, proof that he can endure. To the untrained mind, rejection is destruction. To the Stoic, it's instruction. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, failure, and loss, yet wrote calmly, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." When the world says no, the Stoic translates it as, "Not this way." He doesn't beg for the old path to reopen. He builds a new one. That is the difference between the ordinary and the transcendent. Rejection is the forge, and the Stoic, He steps into the fire willingly. Stop romanticizing rejection. Weaponize it. The Stoic doesn't cry about outcomes. He converts them into strategy. Every setback is an invitation to sharpen the blade of reason and discipline. Here are 5 cold, tactical principles for mastering rejection and turning it into redirection. 1. Detach emotion. Observe like a surgeon. When you're rejected, the emotional storm hits fast. Shame, anger, resentment. The weak man drowns in it. The Stoic detaches. He watches the reaction like a scientist studying a specimen. He names the feeling, isolates it, and neutralizes it. Because emotions lose power the moment they are examined. Epictetus taught, when something happens, the only thing in your power is your attitude toward it. Detachment is not coldness, it's clarity. 2. Translate pain into data. Rejection is feedback. It's not, you're not enough. It's, here's where you're blind. Instead of asking, why me? Ask, what does this reveal? Each no exposes your weak point, emotional, strategic, or moral. That's your next battlefield. The Stoic turns rejection into reconnaissance, information, ammunition. 3. Eliminate entitlement. You're not owed acceptance. You're owed the opportunity to earn it. The Stoic sees rejection as a test, not an insult. He doesn't expect outcomes, only effort. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Every moment spent sulking over rejection is time stolen from progress. 4. Build your inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius called it the fortress within. It's the mindset that cannot be breached. Every time the world rejects you, you reinforce the walls. How? Through discipline, solitude, and mastery. You read when others complain. You train when others scroll. You move forward when others collapse. The world doesn't need your validation. It needs your strength. 5. Redirect energy, not emotion. Rejection releases energy, anger, pain, frustration. Most wasted in self-pity. The Stoic redirects it into creation. Start something new. Learn a skill. Refine your craft. The energy that once fueled bitterness can build empires when disciplined by will. Remember Marcus Aurelius' words. The blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it. Rejection is fuel, if you have the fire. Rejection isn't your enemy, it's your map. Each closed door narrows your focus. Each wound reveals what still needs hardening. You are being refined, not denied. Cold, controlled, unbreakable. That's the Stoic way. Rejection will visit you again. It always does. It wears different faces. A lover who leaves, a company that overlooks you, a dream that collapses just before it's real. You will feel that sting in your chest, that silence after the door shuts. And in that silence, you will have 2 choices: break or build. The weak man takes rejection personally. He curses fate, blames others, or retreats into comfort. But the Stoic, the one who's building his inner citadel, he welcomes it. He knows that rejection is the raw material of evolution. The no is not the end of your path. It is the path. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The obstacle is the way." Every no you've ever received has been the universe redrawing your map. Every collapse was precision, not punishment. You weren't being broken, you were being directed. So now it's your turn. Don't run from rejection. Stand still, feel it, study it, then move forward, not back. Turn that pain into purpose, that silence into strength. This is how you finally stop being ruled by emotion and start ruling yourself. If this message hit you, share it. Someone else needs to hear it. And if you're ready to build your inner citadel, subscribe to Timeless Stoic Mind. Because life won't hand you approval. It will hand you resistance. And the Stoic, he uses it all.